Hi besties! Welcome back and welcome to today's video. For today's video, I thought it would just be fun to do a bunch of book stuff because there's a lot of book related things on my to-do list and I would love to bring you guys along for all of it. Let's take a peek at what I have written down. I want to show you guys some recent book purchases. I'll put some nameplates in some of my books. I want to set my February TBR. I need to drop off some books at a free little library. Oh, I want to show you guys my 2024 completed reading journal and my setup for my 2025 reading journal. So yeah, we've got lots of fun bookish things to do today. Well, I probably won't do it all today. This video will probably take place over the course of a few days. While we're sat here, I might as well just show you all the books that I've purchased recently because I've low-key been buying kind of a lot of books. To be fair, I have already read most of them. They were like books that I read on Libby that I wanted the physical copy trophy to put on my shelf. So yeah, let me go grab them. Okay, I have retrieved the books. These are all of the books that I have bought so far in 2025. On top right here, we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I got this book because I realized I have read every single one of Ali Hazelwood's books except for this one. And I love Ali Hazelwood and I'm super excited for her book that's coming out next month. So I figured I kind of want to read this one before the next one comes out so then I will have read her entire backlist. Something about that is very satisfying. Like I said, this one's called Love on the Brain. In classic Ali Hazelwood style, our main character, what's her name? B. Our main character B is a woman in STEM. She actually has this really cool opportunity to work on new helmets for NASA. I think she's like she's a neuroscientist. Come to find out, her academic rival from college, I think, Levi, works at NASA and is gonna be working on this project with her. So it is a love story between the two of them, and he has soul-piercing eyes. Anyways, I'm not very far into it, but I am enjoying it so far. All of Ali Hazelwood's writing is just super easy, super bingeable, and really fun, honestly. That's why I like her writing. The next book right here is actually a nonfiction book. I think I saw someone reading this on Pinterest, and that's what made me pick it up because I really liked the cover, and I felt like the title would be something that would be very helpful for me. It's called The Highly Sensitive Person, How to Thrive When the World Overwhelms You by Dr. Elaine and Aaron. I am someone who is overwhelmed by the world. So hopefully this is something that I find helpful. Right here is a new release. This is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. And last year I absolutely loved The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. So that's what made me want to pick this up. The synopsis honestly sounds kind of heavy. It's about these twins and one of them dies in a tragic accident. And when the twin who is still alive goes to settle all of the affairs of the twin who has passed away, she uncovers a lot of mysteries about him. And ultimately James must decide which truths should come to light and which are better left buried forever. I'm not sure if this is necessarily classified as fiction or a mystery. It seems like it has like a little bit of a spooky element to it. I also wonder if there's any kind of like fantasy or magical elements going on because there definitely was in The Unmaking of June Farrow. So I'm going into this a little bit blind and I'm very excited about it because I really liked Adrienne Young's writing in that other book, like I said. Right here we have the last two books in the Natural series. I ended up finishing Iron Flame a few days before Onyx Storm came out and I didn't know what to read because I didn't want to dive into another fantasy, but I wanted to read something. So I thought, might as well finish the Natural series. And I'm really glad I did because these ended up being my two favorite books in the series. If you don't know, The Naturals is about this program that the FBI has called The Naturals. Well, it's not a real program, it's a program in the books where basically they recruit these kids with these special innate abilities to help them solve cold cases. It's very interesting because we are watching these mysteries unfold, but we are also getting a lot of backstory on all the kids. And all of them have like different traumas that kind of made them become who they are, kind of made them develop a certain ability. I almost just said signets. I've been reading too much in the Fourth Wing universe. Anyways, their specific traumas kind of help them develop the certain abilities that the FBI needs. When I say kids, they're like 17 years old, I think. But yeah, All In was the third book. I loved this one because we got to dive into a backstory of one of the characters who I really, really love, Sloane. She is so funny and is so sweet and means so well. So I loved getting to see kind of why she is the way she is. And the final book in the series, Bad Blood, I thought was such a good conclusion to the series. Tied things from all of the books together and was like really sad at the end. I hope all these kids get extensive therapy ASAP. Not reacting like they're real people. Next we have Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. I read this one on my Kindle primarily because I wanted to read Lost and Lassoed. I saw people saying that Lost and Lassoed gave Heartless from the Chestnut Springs series vibes, and I loved Heartless. I can't wait to read Lost and Lassoed, but I need to read Swift and Saddled first because it comes first in the series. And I saw some people saying that this is like their least favorite in the series. Now, I've only read Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled now, but I liked this one more than Done and Dusted. I really liked it. I found myself relating a lot to the main guy character, Wes. He struggles with his mental health and was very open about it. I found found myself highlighting some of his quotes in my Kindle, so I wanted to get the physical copy to highlight them in the actual copy of the book. Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by this one. And then lastly, on the bottom right here, we have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, deluxe beautiful edition. I actually accidentally ended up with 2 of these because I forgot that I pre-ordered it from Target. So when that showed up at my door, I was like, I already finished this. So if you would like to buy one, I have it listed on my Pango, and my Pango's in the description of this video if you're interested. Anyways, obviously this is the 3rd and most recent release in the 4th Wing series, or the Empyrean series, I guess. And I finished this one last night and it wrecked me, but I loved it. Now let's put these books, the ones that I've read at least, away on my shelf. Swift and Saddled is going on my cowboy romance shelf. We're gonna put these on my mystery thriller shelf. I need to move this angle. Angle switch. Hopefully that stays. My little mystery shelf. It's starting to grow a little bit. I want to read more mysteries and thrillers. I want to either get Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney or None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. So let me know if you guys think I should read one of those, which one I should read. This I have not yet read, so it will go on my TBR cart, and then this I'm currently reading. My nonfiction book will go, I actually have the most perfect spot for it right here. I have my nonfiction books categorized by color. Oh, and I'll show you guys where I put Onyx Storm. Sprayed Edges Slay. I really like this shelf now. I like the way all these books look together. But yeah, that's where I put the nonfiction one. My little mystery shelf. And my cowboy romance shelf. It's like I'm wasting your honor. Okay. Hello besties, it's another day and it is time to do more bookish things. I have come to the post office because somebody actually already bought my 2nd copy of Onyx Storm. So thank you, Leslie. This is getting shipped out to you today. And then we're gonna go to the Free Little Library to give the Free Little Library the other books that I'm getting rid of. I have to teach 2 Pilates classes this afternoon, so we'll see if I have time to do the Free Little Library before or if we just need to do it after. But yeah, I'm gonna go drop this off at the post office. To share my pride and joy, aka my reading journal, with you guys. One of my favorite hobbies that I discovered last year was working on my reading journal. I'm so excited to show you guys how all my 2024 spreads turned out and how I set up for 2025. Definitely not claiming to be like an artistic genius or anything. Some of these spreads are really messy and not that cute, but I've tried to be not too much of a perfectionist with this and just have a good time putting it together because it is such a nice, relaxing, creative hobby for me. But yeah, I take a lot of inspo from pictures on Pinterest, things I see other booktubers post, especially Rachel Catherine and Katie is Reading, such reading journal queens. I definitely recommend watching their reading journal videos as well. I decided to keep the same reading journal that I used in 2024 because I have so many pages left, over 100 pages left, so I feel like that will be plenty for me to use in 2025 as well. So I'll show you guys the 2024 pages first and then show you the 2025 pages. I hope you guys enjoy seeing my reading journal. Okay, so here is my reading journal. I've covered it with stickers throughout the year. I have mainly like bookish ones on the front and then some more random ones on the back, some Sunny Angels and just ones I got traveling and stuff. This is the brand of the journal and it's one of my favorite journal brands ever. I feel like the pages are just really good quality. The cover's really good quality. And honestly, actually, those are the 2 main things that I look for in a journal. I also have this really cute little pen holder I have just stuck on the back here. Super handy if you're someone like me who always loses your pen. I can just stick it in here and then I never lose it. Okay, we will start off with my 2024 pages since this is what's at the front of the journal since I started it at the beginning of last year. I think it's super cute to have some kind of title page to start the journal off with. I put this little picture of myself and as you will see later on when we get to my 2025 pages, I put like an updated picture of myself. It's kind of cute to look back on what I looked like when I started this journal. Here we have like my rating system explained. I don't know if that still rings true for me, but I felt like doing that at the beginning of last year. And then these were the goals that I set for myself for 2024. As you can see, proud of myself, I completed all of them. Not like they were anything crazy though. Next is my 24 books to read in 2024 page. I did this again in 2025, but this time obviously with 25 books. I think I ended up reading 15 of these. So the ones that I haven't read are the ones that don't have the stars filled in, and the ones that I have read have the rating filled in at the bottom. I really like this spread. I feel like this one turned out really cute. It's also really interesting to look back on all the books that I wanted to read at the beginning of last year because now I don't really have any interest in reading some of these. Oh, and this one I ended up reading in 2025. This is another one of my favorite pages. This is my like library spread. I drew these bookshelves and then I think I drew 100 books on them. And as I finished a book, I would just color it in and then write the title of the book on it. I also put little decorations and cute little sleeping cat on there. I really like this page. Okay, now we start to get into my monthly spreads. Monthly spreads, I do something a little bit different each time, but something that's common for me is like choosing a color that's the theme of that month and then going over it with my pens. So yeah, this is what I did for January. And then about this time is when Magnolia Parks Into the Dark came out. So I did my whole Magnolia Parks reread and I put my ratings below, did this little Magnolia Parks universe collage, and then I had a whole spread dedicated to Into the Dark where I wrote my review, my rating. Obviously it was 5 stars. Okay, this page is kind of crazy. I'm doing this different for 2025, but I wanted to keep track of all the books that I read last year. So I did little boxes for every month. As you can see, in some months I went crazy and had to do a second layer to fill in all the books that I bought or received. This is books hauled. So that means like books that I bought myself or someone gifted me. In total, I accumulated 83 books last year. Here is my genre tracker. I wrote genres at the bottom that I personally read. As you can see, I mainly read fantasy and romance. We had to start a whole second romance bar off to the right there. There's also fiction, nonfiction, mystery, thriller, and young adult books. If I read like a young adult mystery, I would draw a bar for mystery and young adult. All right, these were the books that I was looking forward to reading in 2024. I think this spread is cute. I like how I put the date that they were coming out and then like the rating that I ended up giving each book. All right, here's my Hall of Fame, aka my favorite book that I read each month. Like I said previously, I kind of give each month a color, and that is reflected here in each of these little boxes. And these were my favorite books that I read each month in 2024. Here is my February spread, gave it a bit of Valentine's Day theme. Made a little 2024 reading bucket list, I guess. Didn't check everything off, but got a good amount of them checked off. Now onto my March spread. Had a bit of like a Lucky Charm theme to start off. Remember, this March spread kind of takes up a lot of pages. Yeah. I also did a little page about the videos that I posted in March. Got this reading bingo paper at a little bookstore that I went to, and I decided to put it in my reading journal and make my own spring bingo. Ended up carrying on way past spring, but I just did it until I finally got a bingo. Here are my April pages. I used my little Bobby Good stickers for this one. I think April was like my worst reading month. I only read 4 books, which is not very many for me. I still love this spread because I think the stickers are adorable. This page I never filled out. I got a blind date with a book at a bookstore in San Diego, and I still have not read that book. So when I finally read it, I will fill this in. May spread was super simple, just a bit of a spring theme. Here are my Heartstopper pages. I was obsessed with Heartstopper when I read the series, so I had to make a whole dedicated spread to Nick and Charlie. These are my June pages. I tried to do a bit of a strawberry theme, so that's what's going on there. July kind of had like a star theme. And then this is a 24-hour readathon video that never saw the light of day because I didn't like how it ended up turning out. But I had the idea to do a 24 hours of reading new releases. Maybe I'll try that again in April since there's so many good new releases coming out in April. Here's my August spread. August is my birthday month, so I drew a little birthday cake jelly cat. Here's September. It was Sunny Angel themed, I guess. Here are my Throne of Glass pages. I printed out all the books over here and wrote the dates that I read them and the star rating that I gave them. And then over on the right side, I kept track of my tandem read there. That was quite the experience, I must say. I'm still thinking about Kingdom of Ash weeks later. All right, here is my series tracker. Basically, every time I finish a book in the series, I color it in with purple. And then when I complete a series, I can check it off right there like I did for Throne of Glass. For some of the series, like I did with the Magnolia Parks universe, I left 2 blank squares because we know there's going to be 2 more books left in the series, but we don't know what they're called yet. Did the same thing with Akatar. I don't know why I left 2 instead of 1. Same thing over here with the Empyrean series. And then I have this whole page and the rest of this one for any additional series that I start. This spread and then one other spread later on that I'll mention. The only 2 spreads in my 2024 reading journal that I will be coming back to in 2025. I don't know, I just like the way they look, so I don't feel like recreating it in 2025, and I might as well just keep building off of this one. It's my October spread. I'm really feeling the fall vibes. This is that other spread that I'm going to be coming back to in 2025. It's my author backlists. The authors that I have on here are Taylor Jenkins Reid, Abby Jimenez, Stephanie Garber, Sarah J. Maas, Elsie Silver, Ali Hazelwood, Frederick Brockman, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and Annabelle Monaghan. Some of these authors, like for Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I didn't put every book that they've written. I just put the ones that I want to read. And yeah, as I read them, I fill in the little squares. Then when I complete an author's backlist, I can check it off over here. Here's my November spread. This was fall / Sunny Angel themed. Then I read Metal Slinger and I was absolutely obsessed with it that I commented on one of Rachel Snyder's videos and she commented back to me and I was so excited that I put it in my reading journal. Cannot wait for the second book in this series to come out. Over here we have my cute little December spread with my Christmas stickers. There's a spread that I made to keep track of my 3 holiday books in 3 days. This was the thumbnail for the video that I filmed for it, and then I just put all the books, their ratings, and little pictures of the books over here. I really like this spread. This one I took all of the books that I put on that Hall of Fame spread and wrote them out right here for every month. And then we kind of did like a bracket system to figure out my favorite book of the year, which is probably unsurprising, but it was Magnolia Parks in the Dark. And then to round out my 2024 pages, I decided to do a 2024 reading stats page. My idea here was to make all the stats look like clouds with this cloud paper, but that didn't really work out. I think it's still kind of cute though. Now we're moving on into 2025. Here is that title page with updated photos of me that I was talking about. Pretty simple, but just a cute pinky theme. Then we go on to my 25 books to read in 2025. And you know, 25 little squares, or little rectangles I should say, don't line up as nicely as 24 do. So it's a little bit funky over here, but trying to ignore that. As you can see, I've already read some of these books, so as I read them, I will just do a little X to check them off in those check boxes. Here's my new genre tracker. Similar vibe as last year, just a little more simple. I think a lot of my spreads in 2025 are a little bit more simple than they were in 2024. Here's a new spread that I'm doing. On the left, we have my physical TBR, and on the right, we have books that are downloaded onto my Kindle. Well, 19 now that one's filled in, but there was 20 at the start of the year books on my physical TBR. So I drew little books to represent each of them, and I think how I'm gonna do it is I will assign a certain color to each month again, and whichever month I read them in, I will fill them in that color. So yeah, this was inspired by Rachel Catherine's reading journal. She has like the best reading journal ever, so I take a lot of inspo from her. For this side, I just printed out the little pictures of the books, and as I read them on Kindle, I will just write their little rating below. Okay, here is my new way that I'm doing that books hauled page. As you can see, went a little crazy in the first month of the year, but I already showed you the books that I bought earlier in this video. Something that I decided to do are these little circles to the left of the name of the book, and as I read the book, I will fill in the circle. I feel like that'll just be a nice way to keep track of how many of the books I'm buying I'm actually reading, and if I have like a lot of circles that are not filled in, I'll be able to notice that I need to read some more before I buy some more. But yeah, that's my books hauled page. Okay, here's my anticipated releases page. There are a lot more books that I'm excited for this year than there were last year, so that's fun. I already read Onyx Storm, so I filled in the rating for that one. But as I read these books, I will just color in with the yellow how many stars I rate them. So many good releases coming out this year. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm not obsessed with this page. I feel like it ended up accidentally being kind of sloppy. I saw Sarah Caroli do a Read the Alphabet page, I think, and I wanted to do the same. Basically, I just wrote down every letter of the alphabet, and as I read a book whose title starts with that letter, I'll just fill it in. I've already kind of gotten a lot of them, so that's fun. I don't know what I'm gonna find that's Zodiac Academy will be Z. I don't know about why though. Okay, here is my new Hall of Fame page. Obviously, none of the months have ended yet, so I don't know what my favorite book from every month is yet, but I will fill it in as I find my favorite books. And now we've gone to my new January spread. I decided to do a little TBR over here, some stats over here. I did not give myself enough room to write down every book that I'm reading this month. I thought I was going to be reading slower this year, but turns out I'm still a feral reader. Decided to put the videos that I've posted this month. I think I'm going to continue doing this every month because I like looking back and seeing the videos that I posted. And something new that I've decided to do this year, I don't want to show you this page because I'm sure it has Throne of Glass spoilers on it. This year I decided to do little mini reviews for all the books I read. So as you can see on this page, we have like my Throne of Glass one, and I went a little crazy and added some collages for Kingdom of Ash because I'm obsessed with Kingdom of Ash. I did the same for Powerless right here, this little Pinterest collage. But yeah, I decided to just print out a picture of the book, write the rating, write some things about it, and then just write my thoughts. The reviews are like very unserious. It's just little things that I felt like writing down. Another page of reviews, and then right here we have a page where I'm gonna put my reread. I really like the way these two pages look together. I think they turned out super cute. This one was inspired by Rachel Catherine again. It's where I'll be keeping track of all the books that I check out from the library. And then this one's kind of self-explanatory. When I reread one of my favorites, I'll just put it in the little square, kind of like a little frame. And you know, I thought that I had left myself enough room for all the books I was gonna read in January, but I did not. So it's carried on into this page. This is just for more library books because I'm sure I'll fill up all of this page and then need to carry on into this page. It's honestly kind of annoying me because it feels a little bit messy that my January reads are split up, but we're gonna ignore it. I'll keep all my February ones together in the next month. But speaking of February, I just started my February setup. As you can see, my color is gonna be purple for February. I also have these cute little bow stickers that I'll add on somewhere to give it kind of like a Valentine's Day vibe. Decided to do it a little bit different from January. So all I'm gonna be doing is keeping track of the videos I post, writing out my stats at the end, and then doing those little book reviews throughout the month. But yeah, those are all my pages. Okay, now that I've shown you guys my reading journal, there are a couple more bookish things that I would love to do today. The first is putting some nameplates in some of my favorite books. I got these adorable nameplates for Christmas, which we are gonna need to find here in a second. I've been meaning to put them in some of my books, so I thought that would be a good activity to do today. I am currently listening to Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater on audio and really enjoying it, so I think that would be fun to listen to while I put those nameplates in. And then we need to set my February TBR. I am not doing a specific February TBR video this month. There are 2 books that I didn't complete for my January TBR, so we're gonna bring those into February. And there are also some new releases that I'm excited about, so those will be getting put on the TBR as well. But first, let's work on those nameplates. They remind me of Divine Rivals with the little typewriters. Okay, now that I filled out all those book plates, it's time to decide what books I want to put them in. My favorite books already have plates in them, like the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, Magnolia Park series, Divine Rivals I think does, but let's see who still needs a book plate. Okay, we're gonna put them in all of my Throne of Glass books because they don't have book plates yet. Okay, now I only have 2 left. So what 2 books are we gonna put them in? I'm gonna pick these 2 standalones, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and then Making of June Farrow. Books that I love so much. Okay, time to talk about the TBR. The books that I did not read for my January TBR are Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. I'm honestly so surprised I didn't get to this one because I was super excited for it. But I kind of want to do like a reading romance type of video for Valentine's Day, so this will be perfect to read in February. Like a second chance, childhood friends to lovers romance. And I really love this author's other book, so I have a feeling I'm gonna love this one as well. Okay, the other book that I didn't get to was Heartless Hunter. So I will be reading this one in February in preparation for the second book in the series to come out. The second one is called Rebel Witch, and that one will also be put on my February TBR. Assuming that I enjoy this one, I kind of just have a feeling I'm gonna enjoy it because it's really up my alley. Our main character, Rune, is a witch who's undercover as like a popular socialite. She spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. Our male main character, Gideon Sharp, is a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter, loyal to the revolution, and too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. That just sounds so fun. The next book on my February TBR is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. It's on my TBR because it's the monthly pick for a book club that I'm a part of. I actually started that one last night and have read like 60-ish pages and I'm really enjoying it. I've heard people say that it's a cross between Kingdom of the Wicked and Caraval, and I could not think of a more perfect description than that. It's like the perfect crossover of the vibes of both of those books. It was also super easy and enjoyable to read so far, so hopefully we keep those good vibes rolling. Okay, the next books on my TBR are 2 books that just became available to me on Libby. First is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I've been hearing lots about this book lately and I'm really excited to give it a try, especially the audio, because I think I heard people say that the audio is really good. It just sounds like a fun, goofy, enjoyable time. It's a fantasy where our female main character becomes the assistant to the villain, I'm assuming is like a grumpy, morally gray character. Also heard things about a frog. Apparently there's a frog involved who like holds up signs to talk. So yeah, it just sounds like a fun, goofy time. And then something completely different. Us Against You by Frederick Bachman is the second book in the Beartown series. I read Beartown last year and was shocked by how much I absolutely loved that book. I don't know why I was so shocked because I really loved Anxious People by Frederick Bachman as well. But I've been waiting to continue this series until it's become available for me on Libby, and it's finally here. Beartown is about this small town in rural Sweden whose entire livelihood is based upon this high school age hockey team. But the book is about so much more than hockey. It's about like misogyny, relationships, friendships, community, and like the meaning of life. It's like, it's quite deep. Frederick Bachman is such an amazing author and I really enjoy his work, so I'm excited to get to this one. Now, I've already mentioned a lot of books, but there are a couple more new releases that I would love to get to in February. First being Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I think it comes out on the 4th, like early February. It's her newest release and I guess it's like a college swimming romance. I don't know, I'm intrigued. Anything by her I'll be picking up because I really enjoy her writing. And then the other new release that I'm looking forward to is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is the third and I think final book in the Emily Wilde series. Super sweet, cozy, light academia series that I really enjoyed last year. I'm excited to finally get the conclusion to that story. And yeah, the final book on my February TBR is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This one came out in January and I picked it up immediately because I loved The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young last year. Still don't really know what this one is about. I'm just excited to read more of Adrienne Young's writing. Oh boy, how many books was that? Okay, 9 books. We'll see if I stick to this TBR. As of right now, I can't imagine anything's gonna come up that I want to read more than those books, but you never know. TBRs are just a suggestion. You guys will see in my February wrap up what I end up reading and in reading vlogs throughout the month. Okay, I think setting that TBR was the last bookish thing that I wanted to do in today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully I will see you next week. Bye!